welcome back to Crispy's Projects. In this episode, I'm going to be fitting parking sensors because if you've ever driven a vehicle and you're constantly in and out trying to work out the distance between the car in front, the car behind, struggle parking these great big long vans, this is going to be perfect for you. So let's see what's in the kit. So a little hole saw, I presume that's live wiring, parking sensor kit, also 4 sensors and a sticky pad is going to go on the back of there. That one I presume is going to go on the back of there. Of course, the all important instructions. But just for now testing, I'm going to connect it direct to the battery and see if it works. And it should beep, yeah, which shows that the system's working. So we're happy that that's working. Right, let's have a go getting it fitted. So I've used the hole saw to make some holes in a bit of cardboard, and we're just going to scuff them up with 400 ever so lightly. Now if you're painting sensors, too much paint can really affect the sensor, so you only really need light colour coat, thin layer of primer over the top, and then a little bit of colour to match these. Mark that up as high as possible. I've put it in line with this outer hole on both sides, measured 25mm up to try and find the highest centre point that's going to be sensible. I've measured from that point over to this point, divided it by 3, which for my case got 45.3 centimetres. Measured 45.3, 45.3, 45.3, which has given me equal spacing between all 4 sensors. So at least it's going to look symmetrical. I've pulled basically a flat bit of plastic all the way across as a centre mark and marked the horizontal line. So you could quite easily use a piece of string across there. Let's go for it and actually drill. This is the scary bit. So now we've cut it through, it's actually raised just a little bit of this up. So a little roll of sandpaper and just run it through. Or if you've got a round file, just to take the top lip off so it's not sitting too proud. Depends on how your actual bumper and paint sort of melts and cuts through it, because it sort of saws away. That'll push it to one side, so it makes that little bit of a ridge. You don't want to damage your paintwork, particularly if it's new. So here they are, all painted, all ready, same colour match, same bit of paint, because I painted this bumper, I painted the front bumper. Now it's going to be a lot easier with the bumper off than the bumper on, but you could actually do it with it in and run the cabling through the back of here, just route it. So these ones have got a little bit of an up marked on them, so that's so it can go, well, dare I say, up. I might put them up the wrong way around, because I suppose I'm 50 centimetres apart and I've got 34, 35 centimetres from the ground. Thinking that might actually work better in my favour. Do you know what? I'll fit it the way the instructions are, but just having the back of my head, I might have to tilt these round just to get them to fit. Push and spin at the same time to be able to get them in. Once they're in, I would be able to rotate them. So on the other side, I've pulled all the wires, I'll say taut just a little bit, so they're all gathered towards the driver's side on a UK model. So I'll clean all this with water and soap, but just for an extra bit of bond, a bit of panel wipe. So panel wipes basically alcohol based cleaner. So I've changed my mind and I'm actually going to go to the left of the vehicle, only because the one that's on the right of the vehicle, the little grommet, has got a tow bar wiring going through and it's just a little bit busy and full, whereas the other side has got one wire going through and there just seems like there's more room in there. And on this version of the T5, both sides of the wiring has got reverse lights, so I can wire in the unit either side. So this is part of my tow bar wiring, probably goes to the indicator and possibly a fog light. So I'm going to run the wires through one by one just to get them through the hole. This is where the old rubber definitely feels tight. Right. Now I've got that all fed through one by one. I'll just give it a little bit of tape just on this section, because I don't like taping up too much, because it always seems to cause problems when you try and move tape. So I've got the wires fed through, and I can feel them just on the inside of there. And I've got the grommet back into place and I'm ready to pull this up just a little bit. And as you may have seen, I've just jacked it up a little bit as to help gain access, because this is a lowered T5. So to confirm all the wiring works fine, I've got an earth, and it's the green with the black stripe on this particular model. And we can confirm that because I've got it in reverse. Multimeter, black on the brown, which is the third one along, and then the one next to it. So pin 4 is the earth, pin 5 is the live that's sent via the switch when it's in reverse. Get battery voltage 12.5 volts, which is a good sign. On my particular model, it had this panel, which a lot of this needs all just redoing. But this panel unscrewed off. There's a bit of the tow bar wiring, some of the original wiring. So that looks like a factory connector there. I think I'll be able to go into one of those ones. And I've got all the wiring all pulled up. Pulled the wire through the grommet, so it's all the way exposed on this side. Found where the wiring is actually connected for the tow bar, and they've used Scotch locks. I hate Scotch locks. So when I redo some of the interior, what I'll do is I'll solder them in properly. I might just do them. Nah, I'll do them after I finish this video. So on which, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. It is free to do so. Or you could also like the video. And if I've really helped you and I've saved you some money by using one of the links in the description below, there's a link down there to buy me a cup of coffee. Or I can have cake or biscuits. Oh, it's a while since I've had a milkshake actually. Either way, let's get back to this. Same two wires because I've gone through the wiring. So it's the green with the black stripe and the brown. So I'm going to use my auto wire strippers. So what this does is supply the control module with power once you've put it in reverse. So basically the wire that glows up the reverse light, and it powers this up. So even some of the dealer fit kits work in a very similar sort of manner. Now the wires on there really thin, so very low ampage, but having a good connection is probably key. Because the earth wire is so thick, I won't have penetrated the solder all the way through there, but certainly made a really good connection, and it would have penetrated the outer layer. If not, just behind here there is a little 10mm that you could actually use an earth point. It's a factory earth point. Actually, it looks like the rear lights are actually thingied in there, and all you need is a little ring terminal on the end of there. So let's get it all plugged in. So we've got the power supply in, plug that in, and we've got the 4 sensors. So A, B, C, D. I've got no idea which one's which, but I'm going to say, due to length of the wire, the shortest one is going to be furthest away, because you've got to remember a van is actually very wide. So all the cables there, so I'm going to run it that way. 1, 3. This one's all the way down there. So I'm going to do that one last. And then the final one is the screw cap. So I'm just going to leave that like that now for testing. And that's more or less it. All we've got to do now is see if it works. Between there and there there is a wall, so there's a good chance it's picking up the wall. Hopefully it is. Get it out on the road to actually double check it. All the cabling I'm going to leave exactly where it is, because I'm going to redo parts of the inside anyway, so that's when I'll be able to fit that to a place where I'm really, really happy. So let's see if it works. Select reverse, picks up the power feed from the reverse lights. I think I best stop there. That makes it so much more stress-free. That is the... Maybe I'll put the handbrake on properly. That's it. So that makes parking up so much less stressful. I'm able to reverse into spaces, parallel park in the road. Kit is absolutely amazing. For something that's 10 to 15 pounds for the kit, it works absolutely flawlessly, and I'm quite happy. Well, I say flawlessly, it's not quite 100% flawless, because I noticed during the winter, on the real cold frosty mornings, reversing it would do its rapid beeps, and then when it should go to a solid beep to say that I'm close, it would just go quiet. And as soon as it had warmed up, it reverted back to its normal state of doing a solid beep. So it's either a little quirk with the kit, the technology that's in there, the module, I don't really know, but it's certainly something to be aware of. But overall, I am absolutely flabbergasted on how good that kit is, and I'm quite happy to fit it to another vehicle. So I think what I'll do is actually go and buy another kit myself and just have it as a spares, because sooner or later one of these little sensors are going to go down. Other than that, knowing to expect that, to be honest, I can't argue for the money. And it's saved the stress of parking so much more. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-da!